Okay, so in this video we're going to talk about actually some of the assembly necessary to put this guy together. So I'm going to lay out the parts, get it all set up, and we'll start putting it together, and I'll share with you a couple of things that I learned in the process of building this one. So let me pause this and we'll get it going. Okay, so here's all the pieces. Okay, so I laser cut them out. Okay, these were the pieces that I laser cut. And one of the first things I need to do is simply kind of clean up a few of them. I would like to get rid of, I need to clean the grid on my laser cutter. So I've got a little bit of charring. And I'm going to hold off on doing this until the end. So I'm going to set the butterfly totally apart. And I'm just going to take and pause this for a moment. And I am going to lightly sand off some of this dark stuff. And we'll start gluing some of the pieces together. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I've given everything kind of a light sanding. I can do a final sanding on it when everything is said and done. But one of the first things we need to do is kind of pre-assemble a couple of the simple parts. So in my case, this is my top, okay? And I remember I had made these additional pieces here that are going to glue on top of this to give it some support. That way when I run my stick through, there won't be a lot of ways for it to wiggle when it's all said and done. Okay, so I'm going to start with that. So I'm just going to apply a little glue on it like so, and then just carefully glue that on top of that, and then this on top of this. And I'm using very little glue. It's usually better to use less glue than more. Dries faster, really sticks well. And it's going to be super important here to take the time to make sure it truly lines up. Okay, because we don't want any resistance or undue resistance with our stick driving up and down inside of there. So I want to make sure that those holes are all perfectly aligned, and then I can set it aside to dry for a little bit. Like I'm going to run the stick through it just to make sure. So, okay. So that one is done for now. So we'll set that one aside, let it dry. The other pieces that we have to sort of pre-assemble are their cam floats. And if you recall, they kind of go like this. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble all three of these real fast. I'll pause it so you don't actually have to watch it. Just remember not to use a whole lot of glue. Okay, so I've got these guys gluing up and drying, so I'll have to let them set for a bit. The next is going to be that crank piece, and I think I'm going to use a stick and drive it through, kind of to hold it in place. It does fit. Actually, I'm really happy. The fit is really snug, which is what I really wanted it to be. You actually have to kind of force it in the way I've designed it. But I'll glue these together like so, and then we can let that dry. Do not glue the stick on. I'm just using the stick for an alignment. Okay, so I've got this gluing together. Again, these sticks are just there temporarily. They're not glued in. I just want to have it held in position so that when the glue dries, I'll be sure to be able to put the axle and the crank in without any problem. So we're going to set that aside. So now the next thing is these major pieces here. Keep in mind, this, in my case, this one that has notches all the way around, that's going to be the back, okay? So this is going to be against the back side. And then the ones with two holes, like this and like this, okay, these are going to be the sides of my box. So that's going to be like that, and that's going to be like this. And like I said, this is going to be the back, like so. And then last but not least, I'll hold it there temporarily, is the last remaining piece here is going to be the bottom. Okay? So I'll attempt to glue this together real fast. I'll get it started. I'll start with my bottom first. Alright. And what I like to do is I lay the bottom down, and then I'll just put a little bit of glue on each of these tabs. Oh, that's way too much. It comes out. I got this bottle. It's got too big of a hole in it. Something like that. And I'm going to take one of these sticks and get rid of some of this extra glue here. Just put it on the tabs, like so. And in fact, I'm going to do the back next, so I'm going to put a little bit on there. And then there, and then there. And then I'm going to put this on the side, like so. And then I will do the same with the back. So I'm going to put glue on the tabs all the way around. This is an important part. Okay, this is why I'm shooting this video. Do not put anything on the top. We need the top to be able to come on and off independently. Okay, no glue on the top. So I'm going to put it just, if I assume this is perfectly symmetrical, which it is, I'm going to say this is my side, and this is going to be my bottom. So I'm going to put the glue on these spots here, and I'm not putting it where my thumb is, because that's going to be the top. So I'm going to put that in there like that, and that locks in like that. And then we're going to do this last side here. I only sanded the outside of this box, by the way. I didn't bother cleaning inside. So I'm going to do the same thing here, like so. You probably can't see all that. I'm going to take that over there. Okay. Well, and I just did exactly what I said not to do. Do not put any glue on the top. Okay, so I'm wiping off all the glue on the top. And so I'm going to slide this into here and get these to line up. Sometimes you have to kind of finesse it a bit. And there we go. Nice. Okay. And I would probably be tempted to make sure you have no particular problems with the sticks. In fact, I'm going to have a little bit of a problem. I'm going to have to widen this hole out just slightly with a drill. It is a little tighter than I was planning. Let me try a different axle. Yeah, I'm going to have to widen it out just a bit. Okay? It should be fine now. Just make sure it's square and set this aside and let it dry. Let me pause it. I'll be back with you. Okay, I will say that I've set the top on here. It is not glued. Okay, I can still pull it back off. But by doing so, it helps make sure that the box is in fact square and true as the rest of it dries out. So we'll just let this sit here and dry for a while, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so while we're waiting for the box to actually dry, we can still be setting up our cams. Okay, so we're going to have 3 cams that we have to get on this device. And ultimately we need an axle that's able to go all the way through the box and come out the other side. And it has to be thick enough to be able to hold on to our 2-piece wood crank here. So we want to measure it out. The best thing would be to say, I know my box is 100 millimeters across, and if I take my caliper, we should know this should actually be about 10, right? Which it is. It's a little greater than 10 because this wood is about 5 millimeters. So we need an axle that's going to be about 110 millimeters long. So I'm going to take a small saw and I'm going to cut a rod to be 110 millimeters long. And we'll work on putting together some of these cams. So give me a moment. I'll be right back with you. Okay, and this is going to be why you needed to keep the box lid off. It's a real pain to try to get this fitted in. Because what we have to do is we have to insert, you see I've sanded my shaft a bit, got a nice rounded edge on it. We need to actually get it inside here. And then we need to be able to start sliding on our cams. And this can be challenging. Okay, because they were supposed to be kind of tight when you were cutting it. So you wanted this hole to fit kind of firm, like so. And I'm just going to put them on right now, just enough that we can kind of work it. And now I'm going to slide this all the way through. All right. So now your job is to take these cams, and they have to sort of line up with these holes on this